Pre-flight checklist.
Pre-flight checklist. Oxygen.
Tested 100%.
Tested 100%. Navigation transfer and display switches. Normal, auto. Window heat, on. Pressurization mode selector, auto. Flight instruments.
Set and checked.
Parking brake.
Set.
Engine start levers.
Cut off.
Pre-flight checklist complete.
Thank you. Hello, welcome. My name is Robert. Maybe you were on my stream last night, yesterday, on a flight from Rotterdam to Split. Tonight I'm going to do a little bit shorter flight from Split, Croatia to Milano Malpensa in Italy. Expected flying time is about 1 hour. I just did the pre-flight checklist. I have to do a little bit more regarding our details in the flight management computer. But before I do that, I want to show you something about the flight plan and the charts regarding our departure out of Split and the arrival into Milan. So first the flight plan. Here we are. The flight plan from LDSP to LIMC. I was wrong with LIMP on the YouTube channel. Sorry for that. That's another airport in Italy. LIMC is Milano Malpensa. I've uploaded just 9,822 kilograms of fuel, which is equals for about 2 hours and 33 minutes. Normally we don't use that much of fuel because our trip fuel is only 5,000 kilograms more or less, which is enough for our planned airborne time of exactly 1 hour. We have some holding fuel, of course. There's also an event at the moment, Milano Malpensa Düsseldorf at the moment, so we can expect some other traffic. And we have the standard of 30 minutes holding fuel with us. Our alternate is the second airport of Milan. That's Milano Linate, a little bit more closer to the city, but we still have about 18 minutes of fuel to get into the pattern for Milano Linate in case we cannot land at Malpensa. The final reserve fuel is 1500 kilograms for the 30 minutes normal time. This is something we should always have in our tanks. We should not need to use this kind of fuel. That's why we have extra fuel for holding, extra fuel for the diversion airport, etc. The taxi fuel is 10 minutes, which is sufficient for Split, especially as I don't see any other traffic at the moment at Split. And if we make a straight flight to Milano Malpensa without any delay, without any holding, we can expect to land with about 4,581 kilograms of fuel. We have 5 passengers on board, a very light load, as we are a Boeing business jet configuration of a 737-700. Expect runway 23, which means we climb out over the sea in Croatia, away from the mountains. With Mach decimal 80, we fly at flight level 320. We are able to fly higher, maybe even up to flight level 400, but there are level restrictions over the mainland of Italy on our route, and that's why I choose to fly flight level 320 all the way. So we are not going to climb like a rocket up to 400 and then after the Adriatic Sea descend already to flight level 320. We just keep it nice and steady at 320. Of course that means a little bit more fuel, but it's no problem on this kind of flight. We expect to land at 35 right, by the way, not 17 left. That means we would fly in from the north, from the Alps. We'll probably get 35 right, but we have to wait and see because the wind allows different kind of runways at the moment. The takeoff data, 5 flaps standard configuration, departure from Split, runway 23, a dry runway, 17 degrees centigrade, and there's hardly any wind. So we could also depart from 05 if we'd like. It doesn't matter regarding taxi time. I choose runway 23 as there is probably isn't any ATC on VATSIM at the moment at Split, and this enables us a rather straight out departure from Split, reducing maybe a little bit of airborne time towards Milan. The critical speeds, 121 is the V1 speed and 122 the rotation speed. The moment we start to pull back the Yoke, and our V2 engine fill safe speed is 122 as well. Engine out procedure is a left-hand turn after Tango Romeo India, that's stroke gear NDB to Drevnik on 418 kHz. And the landing data for the 35 right, as I said, a dry runway as well, and a VREV of 117. And we have a flaps 30 landing to expect with the anti-ice can be off. Again, the fuel figures, the ATC flight plan we filed. That means we got a Torpo 7 Echo departure from runway 23. So that's the exit point, Torpo. Then we take the M730 airway to Lisco. Then the set Zulu 906 airway to Charlie Hotel India. Sorry, I don't know the name corresponding to that. Can look at that later. Then the N503 to the Victor India Charlie. That's some kind of VOR over Italy. Then the L615 to Oscar. And Oscar is the start of the standard arrival routing. Charlie Hotel India is Chioggia VOR, as we can see here. I think I pronounced it wrongly, so people in Italy, sorry for that. Chioggia or something like that is the VOR which we plan to pass. Vicenza, I think I'll pronounce that better. That's Victor India Charlie, also VOR on our route. And as said, we finish at Oscar, starting the approach for probably 35 rides. So I think not 17 left, but we'll see. We have ATC, they can decide. The winds information at the various altitudes and the temperatures at the various flight levels. So as I said, we choose flight level 320. We can fly higher if we need. The weather at Split, Cavo K, very nice weather, very stable, almost no winds. And Milan, a little bit of wind at the moment from the southwest, just 6 knots, so we can accept any runway regarding wind, because the tailwind component is not less than 10 knots, so we can accept any runway. It's also Kavok, so no clouds or visibility restrictions at all. 21 degrees centigrade. And there's no significant change expected in the next 2 hours. A little bit of the same at Linate Airport. Also a very slight wind from the southwest. And there are a few clouds there, 6,000 feet. And also a temperature of 21. The NOTAMs, I won't bother you with that at this time, because I also need to do something more regarding our preparation. This is the routing from LDSP via Torpo and then over the Adriatic Sea near Venice. We enter mainland of northern Italy, and then more or less on a westerly heading we fly the arrival routing into Milano Malpensa. The green area means we can expect turbulence at our cruising level when approaching the Italian coast. We'll see what it means in reality. From this chart, flight level 360, you can see that there is no turbulence expected at 360, which means that we'll keep in mind that if there's a lot of turbulence, we can ask for a higher level. And at flight level 400 it's even smoother. So the turbulence might be a factor to ask for a higher level if needed, and probably ATC will give that permission, we'll see. So that's the flight plan. Something about the charts very quickly, one moment. I'll have to start the charts application for that. I'll get back to, about Milano Malpensa during the flight. So just let's have a look at split. The single runway 0523. We're here at stand 11. I expect to leave the apron at exit Bravo and make a backtrack, then turn around, a right hand turn, position ourselves in the southwesterly heading and then depart. The standard instrument departure is a Torpo 7 Echo departure with initial climb altitude restriction of 5,000 feet. As you can see, it's a rather straight ahead up to Drevnik NDB. Before Drevnik we turn right already on a heading of 320, and normally we have to expect radar vectors, but if there's no ATC online, I'll make sure that we'll just turn in on the FMC when above 4,000 feet. So that's it. I can show you the text description of this SID. That's this one, the Torpo 7 Echo. You can see it's climb inbound Delta Victor November. But at 5 miles from the India Sierra Tango, that's the ILS, we have to make a right hand turn heading 320 till 42.3 miles from Zadar, and then a left hand turn to follow the vector to Torpo. So India Sierra Tango we need on the navigation radios, which I'm going to program now together with the FMC. So if you allow me to do some work for 5 minutes, I'll get back to you soon.
Are you ready for the departure brief?
Go ahead.
Okay, no pushback. Start on the stand. Taxi route will be assigned by ATC. It'll be a left seat takeoff using rated thrust. Planning a flaps 5 takeoff. Anti-ice will be off. In the event of a malfunction prior to V1, I will call either reject or continue. Standard low speed reject procedures below 80 knots. Between 80 knots and V1, I will only conduct a high-speed reject in the case of a fire, engine failure, predictive wind shear warning, or if there's any other condition that makes the aircraft unsafe or unable to fly. I will simultaneously close the thrust levers, disconnect the auto throttle, apply maximum manual braking, or verify the operation of the RTO auto brake, verify the extension of the speed brake, and apply maximum reverse thrust. I will bring the aircraft to a complete stop and set the parking brake. We will then run the appropriate checklist or evaluate our options, and if you could monitor my actions, make the standard rejected takeoff calls, including any abnormalities you observe before advising ATC. From V1, or if the call is continue, I will continue the takeoff as per the company's standard procedures. We will then climb to the minimum safety altitude and track clear of local terrain. We are under our maximum landing weight, so we are okay to make an immediate return. All going well, the departure routing will be via the ATC assigned standard instrument departure, complying with all the published speed and altitude restrictions. We will use noise abatement departure procedure 2. LNAV is armed, flight directors are on, mine is master, yours is slave. Navigation radios are set, the NOTAMs and the aircraft defect log have been reviewed. The local terrain poses a threat, so we will treat all GPWS terrain alerts as genuine. Any questions, comments or concerns?
Not today.
Departure brief complete.
Okay, back with you. Just a quick summary what I just did. I just prepared the FMC with the right routing for today, and I did a preparation for the performance. As you can see, cost index 30. We have reserve total reserve fuel is including half of the holding fuel, including the fuel needed for diversion to Linate, which is 3.6. Below 3.6, so 3,600 kilograms, we get a alert by the system that we are closing in on our reserve fuel. Zero fuel weight 39.0, and we have a flight level of 320. 9,500 feet is the transition altitude for split, and we have the 59 calculated, 59 flex temperature for derated thrust. The takeoff data is a flaps 5 takeoff with the trims already set at 4.2, and here are the V speeds. 1 to 1 is the V2 speed according to the FMC. Dry runway, and we have the NDAP 2 noise abatement procedure. So we go at 1500 feet, we proceed to climb power and start to retract our flaps. That's basically about the flight management computer. The flight directors are on, and the mine is master. 5,000 feet the initial altitude. I'll check if the runway heading is okay. Set. One more check on the navigation display. This is Drevnik 418 kilohertz, and this is the IST ILS, which we need for the DME check. The weather radar is on, so we'll start to our before start procedure, and then we'll depart with a sharp left hand turn away from the stand to runway 23. Before start procedure. Before start procedure.
Check.
Well, I was expecting some ground crew guiding us with the startup procedure, but apparently GSX is not doing anything, so I will start on my own. Air conditioning packs off. Before start checklist, please.
Before start checklist, flight deck door closed and locked. MCP.
Set and checked.
Takeoff speeds.
Set and checked.
CDU pre-flight.
Completed.
Rudder and aileron trim.
Free and 0.
Taxi and takeoff briefing.
Completed.
Anti-collision light on. Before start checklist complete.
Thank you. I'm starting the right hand engine at 25% N2. I will put in the fuel. At this moment. I hope they put away that stair on the left hand side. And the left hand engine is now starting. Waiting for 25% N2. Here we go. Yeah, I'm not gonna shut down the engines, boys. So I will disable it now, I think. Oh my god. Let's give some error. Sorry guys. I will use. I don't use GSX now. Some kind of error if I want to disable it. Okay, engines has been started. Let's do the after engine start sequence. Flaps 5.
Flaps 5.
Flight controls check.
Ready.
Full left. Center.
Check.
Full right. Center.
Check.
Full up. Center.
Check.
Full down. Center.
Check.
Full left. Center.
Check.
Full right. Center.
Check.
Flight controls check complete. Before taxi checklist.
Before taxi checklist. Generators on. Robe heat on. Anti-ice off. Isolation valve open. Engine start switches off. Recall
Checked.
checked. Auto brake RTO. Engine start levers.
Idle detent.
Flight controls.
Checked.
Ground equipment
Clear.
clear. Before taxi checklist complete.
Thank you. We forgot the isolation valve to auto. Okay, now we have to do a sharp left-hand turn. Check if there's no ATC online at the moment. And there isn't. Not in this area. So, clear on the left.
Clear right.
That's a very sharp turn. I'm not totally sure if a 737 will make this from stand 11 at split. But okay. We departed from stand 11. Auto throttle is armed. Here we have the Tango 2 sign. We now continue on the apron. Oh, some aircraft blocking. Have to pass around him. Before takeoff checklist.
Flight deck. Okay, thanks. Captain, the cabin is secure.
Thank you.
Before takeoff checklist. Flaps.
Flaps 5, green light.
Stabilizer trim.
Stabilizer trim, 4.2 units.
Before takeoff checklist complete.
Thank you. Runway entry procedure.
Check. Cabin crew, take your seats. Ready to go.
Check. You have to look. Have to have a careful look on the TCAS for any traffic coming in. Like now, looking to the left. I don't see anything on the TCAS at the moment. Let's hope there's no traffic nearby. Okay, backtracking now to the beginning of runway 23. And at the end we'll make a right hand turn to position ourselves for departure. Here we have the turnaround corner on the right hand side. And here we are, positioning ourselves for departure. Croatian aircraft's coming up too. I hope he sees me. Take off.
Check.
Toga.
Check. Thrust set.
Check.
80 knots.
Check. Throttle hold. Ah, he's waiting. Thank you.
V1, rotate. Positive rate.
Gear up. Select level change.
Level change.
Middle marker. Bug up.
Bug up. Bug up is set.
Thank you. Flaps 1.
Flaps 1.
Flaps up.
Flaps up. $1,000 to level.
Check. Select VNAV. Set flight level 130.
Flight level 130 set.
Thank you. Select VNAV.
VNAV.
Select Command A.
Command A.
After takeoff checklist.
Transition altitude set to standard. After takeoff checklist. Engine blades on. Packs auto. Landing gear up and off. Flaps up, no lights. After takeoff checklist complete.
Thank you.
Want to release the cabin now?
Okay.
Check. Happy to release the cabin crew?
Okay.
Check.
You may now use your electronic devices such as CD players, iPods and laptop computers.
Okay. We departed nicely from Split without any air traffic control.
1000 to level.
Okay. I'll put in our cruising level of flight level 320 now. It was a nice smooth departure from Split. Like I said, no air traffic control. So it's always a little bit tricky when there's other traffic. I can use the Unicom frequency for that. But I hoped that the only aircraft with me at the airport was just having a lookout for my intentions, and he was probably aiming for 2-3 as well, but nicely waiting for me at the Bravo exit for me. So here we are on the standard instrument departure. The Torpo 6 Delta departure. Oh no, sorry for that. I say wrong. The Torpo 7 Echo departure out of Split, and climbing through our cruising level now. As you can see, we need a radar vector because you cancel last command.
Roger.
I will mute him again. You can see here that there is no line to Torpo, and that's because, as you might remember, it's a radar vector normally to Torpo. So I have to turn myself to Torpo now. I can do it this way. And see if the FMC is picking it up. And it is picking it up. If the difference in heading was too big, I had to first manually put in a heading on the heading select mode. But apparently the difference is not so big. So the LNAV mode in the flight management computer is immediately understanding what to do. So we're now in the left hand turn to Torpo.
1000 to level. Would you like the fasten belt sign to auto?
Okay. Okay, back with you now. I was just writing down some frequencies from Milano Control. I can see there's approach control online at Milan, and also tower and ATIS. Before getting into the preparation for the descent, I would like to show you some charts about Milan. First of all, the airport itself. Here we have it. It's a rather big airport, Milano Malpensa. It has two runways, two parallel runways. And if I look at flight radar 24 at the moment, I can see that they are currently landing on 35 right and departing from 35 left. If at the moment they are doing the same on VATSIM, I don't know. I did not check the ATIS yet, so when I can check it, I will know. I plan to park at a remote stand near Terminal 2, which is normally used by EasyJet. And that means that for the parking stand, I expect something like this, like 201, 202, 203. Somewhere on this apron, so away from the terminal, is my intended parking stand. The arrival routing, coming in from the east, or from the northeast. We actually fly the Saronno 4 kilo arrival, which starts at Saronno, a combined NDB 330 kHz and VUR DME 113.7, and we fly to Saronno 4 kilo arrival via a transition from Oscor, from the east, just before Bergamo, and it's the Oscar 1 Romeo transition we programmed already. You can see that the minimum flight level is flight level 100 for a long time. We have to keep that in mind. And if necessary, we can fly published from Saronno 4 kilo arrival all the way to the ILS, which at the moment I expect the 35 right. And I show you here the ILS Zulu approach runway 35 right. From Regon we can fly directly, if we need, on the flight management computer to the initial fix and land at the 35 right. 109.9 is the ILS frequency, which I will check again, and heading 348 for the OBS. You can also see that the category 1 approach is just 200 feet radio altimeter, which I will program in a moment. The transition altitude is 6000, so the transition level is probably around 70. Hopefully we got it on the ATIS as well. So that's about the charts. I'll go back now to the cockpit and look for further preparations. Thank you.
Are you ready for the approach brief?
Okay.
The arrival routing will be via the ATC-assigned standard terminal arrival procedure, complying with all published speed and altitude restrictions. For an ILS approach, planning a flaps 30 landing. Final approach fix is 4000 feet. Decision height is 200 feet. Missed approach altitude is 3000 feet. Taxi route will be assigned by ATC. We'll be arriving at a remote stand. We'll use the APU, but please delay the start until my command, as we have a long taxi in. Descent speed and navigation radius are set. Airport NOTAMs have been reviewed. Any questions, comments or concerns?
Not today.
Approach brief complete.
Center fuel pumps off.
Okay, back with you for a moment. I did some FMC preparations for the ILS 35 rides. We have to change it if we get another runway. The ATIS information of Milano Malpensa is still not coming through on our box 2. So we still don't know. What's interesting is that there are some thunderstorms, probably. Some clouds with heavy precipitation just left of our side near Adosa. The Adosa waypoint, you can see. We'll probably stay clear of it, but it's not 100% sure. At the moment there are some fragments of those red colored clouds near Adosa, so we have to keep a sharp lookout. If we have experiencing bad weather, turbulence where I was talking about before, then we might have to change course or use another flight level. We don't have area control at the moment, so there's no ATC to discuss it with, but we can choose it for ourselves then. So have a look. There is some bad weather on the left hand side. Okay, we have to contact ATC now, I guess. Still some thunderstorms on the left hand side, but they are breaking up a little bit. 3317. Milano Control, buonasera. Victor Papa Charlie Hotel X-Rays, maintaining flight level 320 over at Vadik.
Papa Charlie Hotel X-Ray, good evening to you. Squawk 5446 ident.
Roger, squawking 5446 identing, Victor Hotel X-Ray. Thunderstorm at 12 o'clock.
Victor Papa Charlie Hotel X-Ray, radar contact, recall me when you're ready to descend.
Victor at X-Ray, Wilco. And for your information, we don't get the ATIS yet. Can we expect runway 35 right at Malpensa?
Yes, affirmative, 35 right Malpensa.
Roger, expect runway 35 right and call you when ready for descent. Victor at X-Ray, grazie.
Victor Papa Charlie Hotel X-Ray, after Oscar XS, expect vectoring for final approach.
Roger, after Oscar to expect radar vectors for ILS 35 right. Victor at X-Ray. Well, I have some doubts about the descent profile in the flight management computer. I don't know if I have to start the descent yet. The FMC wants me to let me stay on 320 for a long time. Speed is adjusting. Milano, the Victor Papa Charlie X-Ray, we are ready for descent and we like to turn right 20 degrees for cumulonimbus.
Victor Papa Charlie Hotel X-Ray, Roger, descend flight level 120.
Roger, descent flight level 120 and can we turn 20 degrees to the right to avoid?
Arrival is 35 right.
Victor Alexa, we would like to turn right now 10 degrees for weather ahead.
3 for right, Victor Papa Charlie Hotel X-ray is 348 degrees.
Victor X-ray, request to turn right out 10 degrees 278 for weather. It's not there yet. Okay. Well, we're just passing it.
Papa Charlie Hotel X-ray, turn left heading 50.
Victor X-ray, we'd like to maintain present heading due to a thunderstorm on our left.
No, negative. Turn left heading 250.
Victor X-ray, we are inside thunderstorm. Can we maintain the heading for about 2 minutes?
Roger, 2 minutes is okay.
Milano, Victor Papa Charlie X-ray, we are clear of the weather. We can change our heading if you want.
Victor Papa Charlie, negative. Maintain present heading 270.
Als je meteen present heading 270, Victor X-ray. Descent procedure. Descent procedure.
Check.
Bit late, sorry. Descent checklist.
Descent checklist. Pressurization. Landing altitude is 750 feet. Recall checked. Auto brake. Level 1. Landing data.
Set and checked.
Approach briefing.
Completed.
Descent checklist complete.
Thank you.
Cabin crew prepare for landing.
Victor Papa Charlie Hotel X-Ray, copy descend flight level 75.
Roger, recalibrate flight level 75, Victor Hotel X-Ray.
Cabin crew, prepare for landing.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we start our descent, please make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position. Make sure your seat belt is
1000 to level.
and
Check.
all carry-on luggage is stowed underneath the seat in front of you or in the overhead bin. Please turn off all electronic devices until you are safely parked at the gate. Thank you.
Glide slope alive.
Check.
Victor Papa Charlie Hotel X-Ray, turn left heading 180.
Roger, left turn heading 180, Victor Hotel X-Ray.
Victor Papa Charlie Hotel, contact Milano West, frequency 125.625.
Roger, over to Milano West on 125.625. Victor Hotel X-Ray, grazie, ciao.
Oh.
Milano West, buonasera. Victor Papa Charlie Hotel X-Ray is maintaining flight level 75 on radar heading 180.
Victor Papa Charlie Hotel X-Ray Milano, good evening. Radar contact, maintain present bearing, descend 4000 feet, QNH 1010 information Fox.
Dat je daar to 4000 feet on the QNH 1010 information Foxtrot, Victor Hotel X-Ray.
Victor Hotel X-Ray, I expect vector for LS Zulu 35 right.
Roger, to expect vectors for the ILS Zulu approach runway 35 right, Victor Hotel X-Ray. Still no waiters.
Transition.
Check. And Milano, for your information, Victor X-Ray, we are not receiving ATIS information on 121.62.
Flight deck. Okay, thanks. Captain, the cabin is secure.
Roger, la station calling Milano, say again.
Victor Hotel X-Ray, for your information, we do not receive ATIS on 121.625.
Roger, no problem, the runway news is 35 right for medium. Wind calm H1010, visibility 10 miles or more.
Yeah, 10 the QNH and 10 miles the visibility or more. Victor Hotel X-Ray, grazie.
Prego, Victor Hotel X-Ray, turn left heading 270 base.
Confirm left turn heading 270?
Sorry, correction, right, wait 0 now. Break, Lufthansa 1185, contact tower 119.0, ciao.
Final approach fix, height checked. Missed approach altitude not set.
Check. Flaps 1.
Flaps 1.
Victor Hotel X-ray, continue right heading 320.
Continue right hand turn heading 320, Victor Hotel X-ray.
I'm gonna better remove 756 at 700. Lufthansa 5346 Milano, identified, descent 4000 feet, QNH1.
This is not a good intercept, eh?
Maintain present heading.
This is not good.
Roger, maintain present heading, descent of 4000.
I think.
We have information for strike back QNH10 Victor Hotel X-ray, sorry, correction, left heading 330.
Confirm right 330 now?
Negative. Amendment for my previous left 310.
Okay, turning left heading 310, Victor Hotel X-ray.
Victor Hotel X-ray, you can descend 3000 feet, clear LS35 right, report established. Number 1.
Victor Hotel X-ray, roger. Oh my god. Oh.
Lufthansa 5346, turn left heading 080 base. Heading 080, 5346.
Milano, Victor Hotel X-ray, we had a small technical problem in the cockpit. Maybe we need to resequence.
Victor Hotel X-ray, say again your problem?
Yeah, the problem is solved now, but we did not descend yet to 3000 feet, so maybe we can give us a vector around.
Roger. Maintain present heading, now turn right 350.
At your right 350, descending 3000 feet, Victor Hotel X-ray.
Victor Hotel X-ray, confirm.
Yeah, Victor Hotel X-ray, we are visual.
Localizer
Victor Hotel X-ray, we are visual and intercepting the ILS. Gear down.
Gear down.
Flaps 5.
Hotel
Flaps
X-ray,
5.
you are 8 to run. Confirm runway sight.
Victor Hotel X-ray, affirm. Flaps 15. Flaps 15.
Victor Hotel X-ray,
Flaps
tower
15.
119.0, ciao.
119.0 for the tower, ciao. Well, it's going okay after all. Swap command.
Roger.
Lufthansa 29. Grazie, buona. Ciao.
Milano Tower,
Take your seats.
good evening, buonasera. Victor Papa Charlie Hotel X-ray is leaving 2800 on the ILS, 35 right, runway inside.
Victor Hotel X-ray, good evening sir, the wind is calm, clear to land 35 right.
Wind calm, clear to land, 35 right, Victor Hotel X-ray. Okay, nicely settled on the approach. Coming up 4 miles, reducing, automaker. Flaps 30.
Flaps 30.
Approach checklist.
Altimeters.
Set and checked.
Set. Approach checklist complete.
Thank you. Landing checklist.
Landing checklist. Engine start switches.
Continues.
Speed brake.
Armed.
Landing gear.
Down.
Flaps.
Flaps 30. Green light.
Landing checklist complete.
Thank you. Cleared. Cleared.
Check.
Autopilot disconnects. I have control.
.500 feet.
Check. With a marker.
Minimums.
Approach lights.
Landing.
Check.
$50, $40, $30, $20, $10.
Speed brake up. Reverses normal.
Check.
.60 knots.
Check.
Check.
Manual braking.
Check. Auto brake disarmed.
Check.
Check.
Good evening, Milano Malpensa. Tower 30.
Okay to clean up.
Check.
4 hours, B5 right. 546, good evening. Roger, continue approach.
Outside. Please check around your
Yeah,
for
approach.
any personal belongings you may have brought on board with you, and please use caution when opening the overhead bins, as heavy articles may have shifted around during the flight.
Tower Victor Papa Charlie X-ray. Vacated 35 right at Delta.
Inside the terminal to use any electronic devices or to
Peter Belly Gray, Roger, continue taxi Delta 8 from Delta Alpha. Please because
I'm
left.
looking forward to seeing you on board again in the near future. Have a safe onward journey.
Victor to X-ray. Say again, please. We need a remote stand at apron near Terminal 2.
Victor Hotel X-ray, continue taxi on Delta, Delta Echo, Delta Alpha. Please to close runway 35 left.
Roger, Delta, Delta Echo, Delta Alpha, and to cross 35 left. Victor, Hotel X-ray.
Delta 5346, wind calm, clear to land 35 right. Land 35 from 51st. Victor Hotel X-ray, contact ground 121.9, bye-bye.
Off the ground 121.9, Victor Hotel X-ray, ciao.
Three minutes.
Check. Milano ground, Buonasera, Victor Papa Charlie at X-ray is vacated 35 left at Delta Alpha, request remote stand.
Station, what's your message?
Victor Papa Charlie Hotel X-ray, Delta Alpha, we request remote stand.
Victor Papa Charlie Hotel X-ray, welcome to Malpensa. Taxi to VIP parking via Papa 360.
Say again the last, confirm stand number 360.
Affirm, VIP parking for you, 360.
Okay, copy that, 360, we got it on the charts. Thank you very much, Victor Papa Charlie Hotel X-ray.
I Pro 149er, holding point Whiskey Bravo 35 left, ready for departure.
Oh, don't have any follow me because GSX is out. Okay. So.
No station, what's your ground, what's your message?
I Pro 149 al punto attesa Whiskey Bravo della 35 sinistra, è pronto alla partenza.
149 passa alla torre 119 decima di 0, grazie.
Contatto Malpensa Torre 119 decima di 0. Grazie a te, ciao.
Nel Papa GS 510 ready for push start. Push start approval. Push start approval nel Papa GS.
Here we have stand 360 to do right. Go on.
Welcome to ground, cargo look 002, it's ready to taxi. Cargo look 2, taxi via Yankee, Yankee.
Oh, I don't know if this is the exact line, but we'll stop here anyway. I think so.
Taxi to Golf Whiskey runway 35 left via Yankee and Golf Yankee. Algo 002.
Milano ground, Victor Papa Charlie X-ray. We parked at stand 360. Grazie and arrivederci.
Victor Papa Charlie X-ray. Welcome to Malpensa. Thanks for flying with us.
Thank you as well. Bye bye.
Good evening, I'm Officer Ground, Final Taxi 46 passing 35 left, crossing 38. 9 Papa Julia taxi to holding point Whiskey Bravo via Sierra, Kilo and Zulu. Milano's 70.
Lights and doors.
Check.
Last station calling message.
Cabin crew, disarm doors and cross-check. Doors disarmed, no APU.
Check.
Good evening, Malpensa ground. Lufthansa 5346 left, Delta Alpha, requesting taxi to gates. Lufthansa 5346, taxi via Whiskey Romeo System 501. Taxi Whiskey to 501 from the 5346. Papa Julia ready for. Elgo looks to pass on tower 119 decimal 119 decimal 0, thank you and thank you for the service. Good night, sir.
Shutdown checklist.
Shutdown checklist. Fuel pumps, off. Robe heat, off. Hydraulic panel, set. Flaps,
Up.
parking brake,
Set.
engine start levers,
Cut off.
weather radar,
Off.
off. Shutdown checklist complete.
Thank you. Secure the aircraft.
Check.
Secure checklist.
Secure checklist. IRSs, off. Emergency exit lights, off. Window heat, off. Packs, off. Secure checklist complete.
Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are at Milano Malpensa. We got our remote parking as we requested on stand 360. We had a slight problem with some instruments. In fact, it was just a computer mouse. The battery was running dead, so I could not have any controls over the MCP at that moment. That's why you heard me say something nasty on the speakers. I had to change the battery quickly, and after that everything was okay. I was expecting a need for a second lineup to the runway 35 right, but it was just not necessary. I was still able to catch the localize and catch the glide slope, and it was a nice landing after all. So I enjoyed the flight to Milano Malpensa. Next flight will be to Malaga. I don't know what day. That's a 2-hour flight, probably somewhere in the weekend. I don't know when. At the moment, this aircraft will stay at Milano Malpensa till the flight to Malaga, somewhere this month, I guess. Thanks for watching, and see you some other time. Bye bye.